The world's longest undefended border, stretching over 5,500 miles, has long symbolized peace and cooperation between two of the world's closest allies. But now, this once friendly boundary has become the front line of a bitter and escalating trade war, sending shockwaves through both nations. In early 2025, US-Canada relations soured dramatically as President Trump announced plans for a sweeping 25% tariff on all Canadian goods, citing what he called years of unfair trade practices and a need to protect American industries. Ottawa responded swiftly and decisively, imposing retaliatory tariffs on a wide range of American products, from agricultural exports to manufactured goods. In a bold move, British Columbia introduced punitive tolls on American trucks heading to Alaska, effectively isolating the state and disrupting vital supply chains. The Alaska Highway, once a symbol of North American unity and a vital artery for essential goods, is now a choke point, exposing Alaska's vulnerability and dependence on cross-border cooperation. This standoff marks a dramatic low in modern US-Canada relations, with real and immediate consequences for citizens on both sides, frustrated drivers, empty store shelves, and growing protests at the border. Despite a temporary delay in tariffs as negotiations stall, the damage is done. Canada's countermeasures are in full force and the sense of uncertainty is palpable. Alaskans now find their geography a liability, more isolated than ever, and dependent on a foreign government's policy for access to the rest of the U.S. Essential goods, fuel, and food supplies hang in the balance. With leaders on both sides digging in and diplomatic talks at a standstill, the path forward remains uncertain, leaving millions of lives and livelihoods hanging in the balance. In March 2025, British Columbia Premier David Eby made headlines across North America by announcing new tolls on U.S. trucks using the province's highways to reach Alaska. This bold move was a direct response to President Trump's escalating tariff threats against Canadian goods, and it marked a significant escalation in the trade dispute. Eby's message was clear. If Washington wanted to play hardball, BC would not hesitate to hit back where it hurt. Eby also ordered all provincial government agencies to immediately stop purchasing American products, and he banned liquor store sales of alcohol from Republican-led states, including Alaska. The ban was sweeping, affecting everything from bourbon to beer, and sent shockwaves through local businesses and cross-border suppliers. These measures weaponized BC's strategic position as the gateway to Alaska, sending a clear message to the U.S. Economic pain would not be one-sided. The province was prepared to use its geography as leverage, and the impact was felt immediately by American transport companies and exporters. The move was rooted in a deep sense of betrayal and the urgent need for self-preservation. Canada's economy is deeply intertwined with the U.S., and many Canadians felt blindsided by the sudden shift in American policy. For BC, it was about defending local jobs and industries from what they saw as unfair attacks. By targeting the Alaska supply route, BC struck at a unique American vulnerability: time-sensitive, high-value goods that rely on Canadian roads. The disruption threatened to delay shipments of food, fuel, and essential supplies to Alaska, raising the stakes for both sides. Other provinces quickly joined the effort. Ontario imposed a surcharge on electricity exports to the U.S., signaling that energy could also become a bargaining chip in the dispute. Yukon halted all American liquor purchases, further tightening the economic screws and showing solidarity with BC's tough stance. Meanwhile, residents across the country proposed their own tolls and boycotts, eager to show that ordinary Canadians were ready to take action too. This united front demonstrated that Canada's anger was national, not just regional. From coast to coast, Canadians rallied together, determined to defend their interests. Canada refuses to stand by while its largest trading partner dictates terms through intimidation. Instead, the country is showing it will fight back, using every tool at its disposal to protect its economy and its sovereignty. President Trump's aggressive stance is the catalyst for this crisis, threatening a 25% tariff on Canadian goods and upending decades of trade policy. He frames Canada as an unfair competitor, using fiery rhetoric at rallies and on social media, leaving little room for diplomacy. The timing is striking. As Trump hosts a peace summit with Putin in Anchorage, Alaska is being squeezed by his own trade war. This contradiction highlights Trump's transactional approach, seeking détente with adversaries while alienating allies. His strategy has backfired, uniting Canadians and triggering retaliatory measures that hurt Americans, especially in Alaska. The president's anger has set off a chain reaction threatening to spiral into a full-blown trade war with America's closest neighbor. Much of the conflict is fueled by President Trump's false claims about US-Canada trade. His statements have created a significant amount of confusion and misunderstanding among the public. He exaggerates the US trade deficit with Canada, citing $200 billion when official data shows it's closer to $36 billion. This gross overstatement has led many to believe that the US is at a severe disadvantage in its trade relationship with Canada. Trump calls Canada a high-tariff nation, but global rankings show its tariffs are relatively low. In reality, Canada's tariff rates are among the lowest in the world, contradicting the president's claims. He blames Canada's dairy tariffs, though they haven't changed since his first term, and claims Canada blocks US farm goods, when in fact, Canada is America's second-largest agricultural export market. This misinformation has caused unnecessary tension between American farmers and Canadian trade officials. These distortions create a narrative of victimization that resonates with his base but ignores economic reality. His supporters, influenced by these claims, often overlook the complexities of international trade. Trump also misrepresents Canada's defense spending, claiming it's under 1% of GDP, when it's actually 1.37%. This misrepresentation undermines the contributions Canada makes to international security. He's even made bizarre claims about Russian and Chinese ships near Canada, dismissed by defense officials. These unfounded statements have been debunked by experts and officials alike. This pattern of misinformation inflames tensions and erodes trust. The spread of false information has led to increased political and social unrest. The result? A diplomatic crisis built on shaky foundations. The relationship between the US and Canada has been strained, making it difficult to address real issues effectively. For Alaskans, the trade war is a personal crisis, not just political drama. BC's tolls on US trucks have put Alaska in an economic chokehold, especially for time-sensitive goods like fresh produce. The Alaska Trucking Association warns of higher costs, disrupted supply chains, and rising prices for families. The oil and gas industry, reliant on quick overland deliveries, faces delays and added expenses. Alaska's tourism sector is also at risk. If Canada extends retaliation to cruise ships, the impact could be catastrophic. Alaskans feel isolated. Their geography now a liability as the highway becomes a tool of economic warfare. Nearly 730,000 Americans face rising costs, potential shortages, and deep uncertainty. The state's unique position, once a source of pride, is now a strategic vulnerability. All this because of a dispute far from their daily lives. Alaska's leaders are responding with urgency and diplomacy, seeking de-escalation rather than confrontation. Governor Mike Dunleavy urges both Washington and Ottawa to resolve the dispute before lasting damage is done. He appeals to BC to reconsider tolls, emphasizing Alaska's long history of cooperation with its Canadian neighbors. Alaskan officials walk a tightrope, loyal to the US but desperate to restore ties with Canada for their state's survival. State legislators warn of real impacts: higher food prices, disrupted oil operations, and anxious families. Alaska's leadership calls for reason and dialogue, hoping Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney can negotiate a solution. For Alaska, this is about economic survival, not political pride. Alaska's history is key to understanding today's crisis. Bought from Russia in 1867 and once mocked as Seward's Folly, Alaska's value was revealed by gold, oil, and its strategic location. It became a state in 1959, its economy transformed by oil and its role as America's Arctic gateway. Alaska's proximity to Russia and its military bases make it a geopolitical crossroads, as seen in the recent Trump-Putin summit in Anchorage. Ironically, a state purchased for its location is now isolated by its neighbor. The solution lies in recognizing shared history and economic integration. Dropping tariff threats in exchange for lifting Canadian countermeasures, perhaps with a mediator, could restore stability. Without compromise, a vital North American alliance risks fracturing, turning partnership into a cautionary tale.